Today being brought to you by the good folks at the Dana Law Group, also Sunshine Cleaning and Restoration, Hospitality Wireless, Damn Good Flooring, Anytime Fitness, Choice Auto and Truck, and the Holiday Cruises and Tours. Well, good, finally Friday morning, 5 minutes past 9 o'clock. Yeah, it's Friday. And it's time for our hometown movie guys whose microphones still aren't turned on yet because I'm grumpy. And we have Tina, Craig, and Andy with us in the studio telling us what's going on at the Sawmill Theaters and ever so much more. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
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 You want to add to that?
I just love that theme. Thank you so much for playing it. We hope to live up to it.
Well, it's always nice to have goals.
Yes.
How's Andy McKinney this morning?
Well, I'd be happier and I would do a much better job if you'd play that louder.
Oh, you just got to turn your earphones up. Let's see. Now, is that loud?
Oh boy, there we go.
Put your hearing aids up.
Fortunately, no one out there in Radio Land heard what I just did. Anyway, the bottom line, the headphones do work here. The bottom line is we have all kinds of interesting stuff to talk about this morning, and Craig from the Sawmill Theaters with us, and you've got some interesting movies coming. Matter of fact, that's one that starts today. Or did it start last week? Call of the Wild.
Oh, today.
That starts today.
Yeah, opening up today.
And I've seen the trailer for it, and of course, Call of the Wild, that's a famous story. It's been around in this remake.
Jack London,
Yeah, and with Harrison Ford in a lead role there, it's nice to see him, taking on another movie. But the dog in this is all computer animated, right?
CGI, yeah.
And it's got little expressions like huh, and stuff like that that I think is kind of neat.
Well, sure, yeah, we can do a little bit more with it rather than trying to actually get a real dog to do things.
Right. I thought it looked very convincing to me anyway.
I did. No, it looks it's actually very good CGI. It's a PG film also. This is
good for the whole family.
Good, it is. This is more of a family-based, and from what I'm reading, they did tone it down a bit, so it's kind of good for kids too then.
All right. So
Yeah, 'cause that's a tough story.
Yeah.
And reading that story made me cry. It's
made you grumpy?
No, made me cry.
Oh, okay.
Cry. But I was grumpy after I cried because I was really sad about the dog.
That for some reason makes sense.
Yes.
Based on the Jack London 1903 novel The Call of the Wild, a sled dog struggles for survival in the Alaskan wild. Again, rated PG, plays at 1:15, 4:15, and 7:15. And one of the things, Craig, we were talking before the show today, there was a review on this in the Wall Street Journal by one of your favorite critics. That and Andy, you may want to close your ears if you haven't seen the movie yet, because I know you don't like to hear other people's critique. But he didn't speak well of this, and I don't know how it could be as bad as he seems to think it is.
No, I went on Metacritic yesterday. It's a site that kind of puts together all the reviews across the country, and this guy gave it a 0 out of 100.
Out of 100?
0 out of 100. I think that's just lazy garbage journalism.
Sounds like it's some kind of attitudinal deficit of some sort.
As we talked a little bit earlier, I think any film that is put together deserves points. I mean, there's a lot of effort that goes into these things, and a 0 is just, it's ridiculous.
Right. I mean, even zombie movies get more than a 0.
Indeed.
There is one problem. The dog in the picture is not a sled dog.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Saint Bernard, isn't it? In the movie?
I don't
No,
know.
it's a short-haired breed.
Oh, one of those short hairs. Okay.
Smaller than a Saint Bernard.
Yeah, I
What's
guess.
smaller than a Saint Bernard?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I take Craig's comments very seriously. For generations, people have considered Plan 9 from Outer Space as being the worst feature-length movie ever made.
Really?
And it's just.
This is going to come as a shock to you, but I don't think I've ever seen that.
Well, you should. No, it's important to see it because
Just so you know how bad things can go.
it calibrates your brain. So the greatest movie ever made may be Citizen Kane, and at the other end of the spectrum,
Chinatown.
Plan 9 from Outer Space, or Chinatown. I mean, Chinatown certainly got contender.
It's exquisite.
But even Plan 9 from Outer Space, as wretched as it was, it's so bad that...
How bad is it?
Well, it's really bad. You can see the strings holding up the flying saucers.
Yeah, that's bad.
It is really, really bad. Oddly enough, it's Bela Lugosi's last movie.
Oh, wow, so this goes back, what, to the
Oh, yeah, back-
30s? or-
No, back to the 50s.
Oh, 50s,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, but even that one deserves, some points on a 100-point scale. It would get a few.
Wow.
And, a modern day contender for worst movie ever made is a zombie flick, oddly enough, called Poultrygeist, which is just, I mean, it's not just horrible in every aspect of it,
But wait, there's more.
But
Yeah.
how horrible is it?
but it's
Andy?
also vile and disgusting.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
So that makes it a well-rounded
Well,
loser.
Yeah.
that redeems it somehow.
I think the worst movie I've ever seen was a supposed science fiction black and white movie about some alien come down and it's a big robot and it just stomps all the time.
Nice.
I missed that one. Astro Zombies, another horrible movie, but even as bad as these are, they deserve at least a few points.
Well, if you really want to see bad movies, and of course, who among us doesn't? On Netflix, they have Mystery Science 3000.
Right.
Oh my God, that is so, I just love that. I mean, just sitting there and watching these execrable movies. And then the comments made by the little robots.
You got the little silhouettes at the bottom of the screen or whatever.
And they've got a new one, they have the old one, which was very funny, and then they have, a new one, which is equally funny. I love it.
Oh, that sounds
Yeah,
good.
and the other part of this too is Call of the Wild didn't get that bad of reviews. It's actually pretty much down the middle on that, so.
Right.
So he was just way off on his reviews
Must
here.
have caught him on a bad day, he was feeling a little bloated or
You
something.
know, it could have been. We don't know, or he didn't get anybody to a party, or somebody insulted him, or I don't know.
I don't want to play.
It was a little over the top.
Well, Call of the Wild again plays at 1:15, 4:15, and 7:15.
Randy, I've mentioned this before. When I write a review, and by the way, there is a most excellent review of mine in today's newspaper.
If you do say so.
Really.
My idea is to inform the public, the moviegoers out there. So, gee, is this a movie I would like to go see? Or is this a movie I can take the kids to? Or will I enjoy this? To inform them. And the big city slicker, snooty movie reviewers like Morgenstein, they don't have that attitude. It's all about them as the reviewer. Is what can I say that will bring attention to me?
Oh, okay.
Me. It's not about serving the public, and I think that's just despicable.
Wow. So what, do we know how much they spent to produce Call of the Wild?
No idea. My research assistant is unavailable this week. Google.
Yeah, good old Google.
No, we put a new roof on the house last week, and the guys jiggled the dish.
No.
So I've been out of communication for the last week.
Well, we will see what we can do about getting that corrected, but in the meantime, hey, Call of the Wild starts today, plays again at 1:15, 4:15, and 7:15. I think it'd be a great one to watch, and again, rated PG, take the whole family.
Look, you've got the classic Jack London story, but certainly his most famous story, and a terrific read. And you've got Harrison Ford.
There you go. And I think he could act, he can take on just about any part. That guy's very talented.
Yes.
So I'm
In a word? Yes.
I'm looking forward to seeing this.
All right, now, but there, before we go on to some of the other movies playing at the Sawmill Theaters, there's a special one playing tonight. And if you're thinking to yourself, I'd like to go on a date night tonight with that special other person, and I'm looking, maybe going to the movies. Well, how about a movie that is scary, might make your date want to, all of a sudden grab onto you, and also get you laughing too. The scary movie sequel from Keenan Ivory Wayans. I get, am I pronouncing that right? Wayans?
I
Yes.
believe so, and, those guys are great. I mean, In Living Color, if we all remember.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, he takes comedic aim at haunted house movies. And Craig, you got a special going on tonight for $20 per couple, and this is, you get into more than just watching the movie.
You get the large combo with it too, a large popcorn and 2 large drinks.
Sweet.
for $20.
For $20, there's an inexpensive date idea.
Dang.
And-
$5 for single tickets.
Right, and you get to sit in a dark room together, so
Yeah.
it's nice.
Yeah.
So we'll see how this one goes. It's it's rated R.
Right?
But this, of all the scary movies, I think this was the best. This thing really is funny.
Right, and if you maybe don't have a date for tonight, hey, you can still go watch this, right? Just $5.
For $5, yes.
Can't beat that with a stick. All right, so Scary Movie 2, again, playing tonight at 7 o'clock at the Sawmill Theaters, and it's tonight and tonight only.
And it's in deadly color.
It's what?
It's in deadly color.
In Diddley Color.
Diddley color.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever
So
that is.
in Living Color, just to remind everybody, it could never be made now because it was way on PC, but the Wayans brothers were fabulous.
Right?
Yeah.
Greg, is this the one where the movie opens with Drew Barrymore screaming?
No, this is this one starts with James Woods.
Oh, he's screaming.
This is
Ooh, I love
no,
James
it's
Woods.
a spoof on The Exorcist with
Oh.
James
Right,
Woods. And,
right.
Yeah, it's just hilarious.
So people can, instead of getting the popcorn, get a bowl of pea green soup or something?
Ooh.
Bad.
I don't want to. There's a lot of that. Yeah, they definitely take comedic license with that and kind of go over the top, but it's really good.
All right. Hey, we got to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to talk more to your hometown movie guys, Tina, Craig, and Andy, with us in the studio. Going to tell you more about what's going on at the Sawmill Theater, and as well today, going to talk about spy movies. All that and more coming up right after this.
You know, actually on that opening scene is the Linda Blair character just pukes up this pea green soup on James Woods, and
Oh, God.
then he goes, blah, and he pukes back on her, and then there's another priest, and she pukes on him, and then
Oh, my
all three of them just gallons of.
Love
And
James.
puke
That
party.
had to be a blast to film.
And puke party.
It was
Hey, spy movies, I got a bunch.
And that movie that I was talking about, the whole movie, it was supposed to be in Mexico. The whole movie was this big square block thing with little feet that were just doing this, just stomping cities flat, and a few adult human beings talking about it in the background.
Well,
the
you've
whole
seen the
movie.
shortest horror movie in the history is Bambi versus Godzilla. Right.
Wow,
Right?
that sounds like a mind-gripping.
It's a stomper.
I figured it'd be a snack
Thursday.
thing.
Oh.
Thursday, 1 o'clock, doing the
Yes?
yes, Les Mis, the musical, the concert. Yeah.
Word.
Yeah, next Thursday then at
Oh.
1 o'clock,
Thursday.
we're doing Les Mis, the
One-
musical.
one showing only?
One showing only.
Wow, that's interesting. We got to talk about that too.
Concert,
Les
yeah.
Mis would be, and that's the stage production.
Yeah, the stage production, yes.
Wow.
Ooh.
So here we go.
Congratulations, if you don't, you're on your own. Call me today at
Oh.
978-1888.
Welcome back to Room Country Forum, 18 minutes past 9 o'clock, 49 degrees, looking for that high today of 62. More on weather coming up for you in about 12 minutes.
Did you say
meanwhile-
moron weather?
Yes, for all you morons out there, we'll have moron weather here coming up. That's my job, I provide moron weather. No, I'm sorry.
You know, Randy, Craig keeps coming up with these spectacular ideas for special occasion movies. I didn't get to go, but I talked to a couple of people that did. Went to the recent special edition of Princess Bride.
Right.
Oh,
And it was
wonderful.
well attended, and I guess people just really dug it.
Yeah.
And Craig, you were saying you had quite a crowd that showed up to see that
Yeah,
one-time
we got
show.
about 60 people for it.
Yeah.
That's neat. I mean, what a great date night idea that is.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure.
And now, you've got something else as far as these special one-time only showings. You got something else coming up this week.
We got a couple things coming up. Next Thursday, we're going to do Les Mis at 1 o'clock.
And this isn't the movie, this is
No,
the
this
stage
is,
production.
this is a stage production. We did Phantom of the Opera here a couple weeks ago.
Right?
Again, the stage production, so we're gonna do it again with Les Mis.
I think that's a great idea. You get many people out for the other?
It did, we had a good turnout there. Again, about 60 people showed up.
I mean, where can you go to watch a stage production on a big screen, like on the stage right in front of you, right here in Payson? You know, that's a pretty
For
slick deal.
just $5.
$5. $5.
And, the other one too then. A week from tomorrow, on the February 29th, we are doing a fundraiser for local veterans.
Oh, that's
We're-
right.
Yes, we're gonna be showing Sands of Iwo Jima.
Right.
John Wayne.
John Wayne,
Yeah.
John Wayne.
All right.
I think it's nominated for 4 Academy Awards. I
Yeah,
think.
it's this week was the 75th anniversary of
This
the
is
the
it.
Marines
They
storming
started,
the
yeah.
shores there. And
Actually-
we've been posting up pictures of that on KMOG's Facebook page.
75 years ago, they were actually fighting the battle.
Thank God for those people, the greatest
Yes,
generation,
yes.
Gotcha. Yeah.
and they still are.
But yeah, that's, and that one is also $5, and all that money is going into local veterans.
I think it's cool the way you guys do these different benefits for, good local causes. That's hats
Well,
off
it
to you.
brings movies to Payson that are, that one would normally not see on the big screen.
Right,
I mean, yeah, if we were in some, big urban place where what's-his-face is writing stupid reviews, there are lots of little niche theaters that show old movies and certain kinds of foreign movies and stuff, but the fact that we have this, it's kind of like an ongoing little movie festival. It's wonderful, so yay, yay Sawmill, yay
I'm
Greg.
trying to go, well, particularly now, February is a slow month for movies.
mhm,
Hollywood just doesn't put out any of the big stuff, they hold on to that for the holidays or for the summertime.
right.
So it is, February and September are typically the slow months of the year.
Hmm.
So just trying to kind of fill some things in there and get a little bit more going on.
Well, and again, Call of the Wild starts today at the Sawmill Theaters, plays at 1:15, 4:15, and 7:15. And if you're thinking that, hey, you'd like to maybe find another PG or PG-13 movie you can take the kids to, well, another one that's playing today, Sonic the Hedgehog. A cop in the rural town of Green Hills will help Sonic escape from the government who is looking to capture him. Plays at 1, 4, and 7. Craig, this is what, based off a video game, isn't it?
Yeah, video game adaptation,
Right.
actually the largest opening for any video game adaptation.
Really?
I was kind of shocked by this one. It does 70 million last weekend.
Wow.
Yeah, this thing really, really took off. I was surprised. Did good here in Payson too.
Wow, very cool. And have you seen this one yet, Andy?
Negative.
Okay. And I'm guessing this is probably not way up on your list yet either?
I haven't.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I wouldn't, but I haven't.
Sometimes these are such a nice departure from reality that it's
Yeah.
kind of a fun little,
The trailer was hilarious. The
Yeah,
trailer
The
was so
trailer,
much
Don
fun.
says the trailer was really hilarious.
As a matter of fact, if you're wondering, who is that voice back
Who
in
is
the
that
corner
voice?
of the room that you
It's
can
the
barely
movie
hear?
guys and plus one,
That's right, it's
or more movie guys.
Don Cline. He's always in here every Friday, and he's videotaping the hometown movie guys here in the studio. And if you'd like to not only be able to see the people that we're talking to, but also check out all the frivolity that takes place during commercial breaks, just go to the Don Cline channel on YouTube, and you'll be able to check that out. And he posts them up, later today, Don?
Yeah, a little bit later because the editing program, the uploading program changed.
It takes a little while to get everything uploaded and all that kind of good stuff, but he'll get it on there for you. So you can always check out past issues of your hometown movie guys on there as well. Now,
And I try to set aside a few minutes every week to review.
to watch yourself.
To be seeing me on TV.
There's no narcissism
Yeah.
here, right?
Hey, we have a caller on the line talking about Andy's narcissism at 23 minutes past 9 o'clock. Hi, you're on Rim Country Forum. Good morning. Hey, David, how you doing? David out in Star Valley saying hi to Don Cline back
Yeah.
there. He says he's your
Yeah.
neighbor. He's waving back at you. If you look at your radio real close, you'll see him.
They're both short. The first one is, what is the funding for the veterans of the area? Where is this going to go, the money? Vietnam vet.
And I want some money. Okay, so the money that's raised for veterans from the showing of Sands of Iwo Jima here coming up a week from tomorrow, where actually do those funds go?
I know we've got the Elks Lodge and then,
The Veterans Helping
yeah, the
Veterans?
American Legion over
Oh,
there.
American Legion. Okay.
Yeah, both of them are kind of working together on this, and it's Art Schlager, I think I got his last name right there. He's the one that's actually putting this together. So I'm not actually sure on the exact group that it's going for, but that is all staying here locally and it's staying in Payson.
Well, between the Elks and the American Legion, they would definitely know where the needs are.
Yes, yeah.
All right, so, hey, appreciate the phone call this morning, and hello to all those out in Star Valley this morning. Now, One other movie that we need, we've got a few other movies to talk about, but one other one that is currently playing at the Sawmill Theater is a movie called Downhill. Barely escaping an avalanche during a family ski vacation in the Alps, a married couple is thrown into disarray as they're forced to reevaluate their lives. It's rated R, plays at 1:30, 4:30, and 7:30. And speaking of illustrious reviews in the Payson Roundup by Andy McKinney, I noticed that this is not one that you're throwing too many saw blades at.
No, it stunk.
Hey, don't candy coat it for us. Tell us what you really think.
You think
So-
you live in a big city and wrote for the Wall Street Journal?
Yeah, really.
Let me rephrase that. I don't think that this is a movie experience that most people will enjoy.
Okay, what was the shortcomings in your opinion?
You and your euphemisms.
It didn't stink, it smelled bad. Okay, so what was the shortcomings?
Will Ferrell plays an utterly deplorable human being, and we get to watch him deal with the consequences of his cowardness and his callousness throughout the movie, and it's just not fun to watch.
You know, and I'm probably the only one that thinks this way, and I'm gonna go ahead and just come clean and say it right here in front of God and everyone, but I have never found Will Ferrell funny. Ever. Not once. With the possible exception of when he was playing the cowbell on Saturday Night Live. But that'd be about it.
Well, not everyone likes Will Ferrell.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's a different story for
Certainly not
different folks. Yeah,
Right.
But and yeah, some of his movies I haven't really liked.
right?
But Step Brothers was just hilarious. The other guys was really good. Talladega Nights. He's had some, but he does tend to kind of go towards a little bit of a goofy type
Well,
comedy.
and
that people don't like.
it's that uncomfortable thing too, where it kind of pushes you to the edge of your comfort zone, I think, and that to me is, I guess, I'm uncomfortable enough already, I don't need help.
Well, a lot of comedians do that.
Yeah.
Steve Martin, some of his earlier stuff was
Oh, yeah.
a little, kind of goofy like that.
I was born a poor black child.
Yeah, well, the jerk.
Yeah.
Which is-
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah. Well, and you're not the only ones. I mean, look at Joan Rivers and other, of course, I don't know, was she ever in a movie?
I think so, but I can't remember. But I mean,
Well,
she's really, I miss her.
Yeah.
Jerry Lewis.
Oh, my
Oh, yeah.
goodness.
That
Yeah.
was,
Or how about Don Rickles as far as making you uncomfortable?
Oh, my guy. Love Don Rickles. Sorry, Don Cline. Love Don Rickles.
well, and we've got a Sonic, that's Jim Carrey. He has that same effect
Yeah.
on people.
Yeah.
Right?
You kind of either like Jim Carrey or you don't.
Yeah.
Or you did like him and now you don't.
Or something like that.
And to be fair to Will Ferrell, this was an acting assignment that he got. Will Ferrell's not this character.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought this was a documentary. Thanks for pointing that out, though.
You're quite welcome. And Will Ferrell is known for his comedic roles that some people find funny.
Right.
But this is not funny. This is a straight acting, dramatic role, and the character that he plays is just not a nice person at all, and it's not fun to watch.
Well, if you've watched this movie in the past week, or for that matter, maybe you can plan on watching it this week and calling in next Friday, but give us a call and tell us why Andy McKinney is wrong. Number to call, 474-2427. Back to the phones we go. Hi, you're on Real
Bill's
Country
character.
Forum. Good morning. Hello? It's David again.
Theater. I was in theater then in Dallas. And managed to believe that the theater in Don Cline.
Wow.
That theater twice by the film production companies. One was what's his name? Leslie,
Grizzly Adams?
no, Robert Redford and
Oh, okay.
that studio that we were the best theater in America. And then we opened for Benji. And the guy that financed that film was a local guy. And he was shocked by how well we ran our theater. But I want to say,
Is there a point?
Sawmill Theater, that's one multi-screen theater I have ever seen. And I've been in a lot of theaters.
Yay.
You know, I have to agree with you on that because the thing I like about it is, I mean, the people that work there are friendly, the sound system, everything works and it looks good and it sounds good, but to me, the best part is I have yet to pick up any gum on the bottom of my shoe. And, you know, we've all been to those theaters where that ain't really always the case, so, yeah, nice job.
No, yeah, thank you very much for that, yeah, and actually, Sawmill Theater's best theater in Payson for the last 20 years.
Wow, and that's compared to all of the others, you know, so.
It's everybody's living, it's compared to everybody's living room, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, hey, appreciate the phone call there, Dave, and we have to take another quick break. Get you caught up on today's Rim Country weather forecast. When we come back, got a few more movies playing at the Sawmill Theaters to tell you about, and then we're going to find out what's your favorite spy movie of all time and why. Be thinking about that and be ready to give us a ring at 474-2427. We'll be coming back with more right after these words.
Hey,
Do you guys,
Randy,
do any of you know Dave?
I gotta tell you, remember Elle who called in all the
Yes.
time? She passed
Yeah,
away.
that was nice.
She did.
And well-deserved.
Yeah, she passed away.
He's not talking about what you're talking
No,
about.
she was very, very ill, and one of my yogis in my college class was, you know, and I was gonna go see her, and she just passed away.
Wow.
Yeah, Elle, remember Elle?
No!
Yeah.
You know, we should talk about that, because she
We
was a
should.
regular
Oh,
caller
she
all the
was-
time.
She was wonderful, you know, and she really knew stuff.
And you know, I mean, I know Elle was short for what?
Um,
Ellen Orinsky or
I
something
don't
like
know, I
Elenia?
don't know.
Elenia, right?
Elenia, yeah.
Elenia?
Yeah, but she's
No.
so, yeah. Just happened, not, I think maybe this last week.
I think
And
I
she
asked
was-
you about it last week.
Yeah, you
last
did.
week,
That's why,
we
yeah,
weren't sure
yeah.
from
I know, and I'm so sad.
Yeah.
Do any of you know David, the guy who called in?
No.
He's a decorated Army Ranger.
Really?
He was a police officer in Dallas on a motorcycle. He was in a hot pursuit. He T-boned a vehicle and flew 368 feet through the air and wound up with a broken back. And he's a borderline invalid.
Wow.
In fact, now he just told me the other day that his left lung is totally cancerous and have to be removed. He's really in bad shape.
Wow.
Jeremiah Johnson was the movie that the guy that called in couldn't remember.
Oh, gotcha.
Oh, yeah, Robert Redford.
Good point.
Thanks, Michelle.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
so
yeah. Just like that.
welcome back to Rim Country Forum, 28 minutes in front of 10 o'clock. And, you know, Dave from out there in Star Valley called in a little bit ago. And David, thank you again for listening this morning. Michelle in the back office here, who really keeps track of this thing that we loosely refer to as reality. And she answered the question. You were talking about, you know, the name of that one movie. It was Jeremiah Johnson. And I think that's the movie that you were referring to anyway. So, by the way, Dave, we were just learning a little bit about your past history, and man, thanks for all the service, not only in the military but also in law enforcement. We appreciate that very much. Hats off to you. Now, one other thing we got to do here real quick, a little bit of housekeeping that we're sad to have to say, but if you have been a regular listener to the Hometown Movie Guys on Friday, you may remember a gal who called in all the time, and we just lovingly referred to her as Elle, and out in Star Valley, right?
I don't remember. I think-
Anyway,
I'm
somewhere
not
here in
sure.
Rim Country.
Yes.
But she went ill and just recently passed away.
Yes.
You may remember, you know, she was always calling in, talking, and then talking about, I gotta go, I gotta get off to college and stuff like that. Well, she's been promoted to a whole new level of education.
Yeah.
And we miss her, and hats off, and our prayers and thoughts go out to the family and friends of Elle. She was a big friend of the Hometown Movie Guys here on Fridays, and we will miss her phone calls.
Yeah.
Now, on a lighter note though, there's still, I guess, 3 more movies we need to mention briefly that are playing this week at the Sawmill Theaters, and you still have a chance to see 1917, that
Yes.
epic movie about World War I, which that's been getting Academy Award nominations
Actually,
and stuff like that.
10 nominations.
10 nominations.
Yeah.
Did they actually win any awards?
Was it cinematography?
Yes.
Yeah.
Cinematography, wow.
Yeah.
And it had to be with
Nothing
that
major there, but.
one
Oh.
long running
Seriously,
shot.
if
I don't
you
know how
have
they
not
pulled that off.
seen that
It's a mystery.
movie, Rim Country, go see that movie. It's fabulous.
And this is probably the last week to do so, right? Do we know?
Not sure.
You're not sure on that one. Next week, I'm not sure if we got 1 or 2 movies coming in. We've got The Invisible Man starting up next Friday,
Right.
horror film there.
Ooh.
And I'm gonna try to get another one that's called Emma. That was kind of a, set about the same time frame as Downton Abbey. But this one's a little bit more of a comedy.
It's a Jane Austen, I think.
Yeah, yes, yeah. I'm gonna try to get that one. If I don't get it next week, I'll get it soon.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
But if you have not seen 1917, don't act as if it's going to be here next week. See it this week.
Yeah, it makes
It's
sense.
super.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
actually, you know what we do on those, we go over the weekend, we make these decisions on Monday morning, but we'll just kind of look at the weekend numbers.
Right.
The Friday through Sunday, and whichever movie is doing the worst is one that goes.
Right. Well, 1917, that movie about 2 British privates during World War I. They must deliver a message in enemy territory. It's rated R. It plays at 1:15, 4:15, and 7:15, and you definitely want to get out and see that. 2 other movies that are playing at the Sawmill Theaters this week. Doolittle, a physician discovers that he can talk to animals. It's another one rated PG. It plays at 1, 4, and 7. How's this been doing locally?
It's been really good.
Yeah.
This is another one, the critics were really rough on this movie, and it was not that bad.
Hey, are critics just grumpy this time of year? I mean, I
It
rarely
seems to
see
be,
Andy smile anymore.
After the holidays, I don't know. Yeah. But no, it's done really good. And this is another one too that is a potential for leaving it. It's been here for quite a while,
Right.
so
And
it might be gone this
Andy,
week.
did you see Doolittle? Doolittle?
Yes, I did, much to my dismay.
Oh, you're still grumpy, okay.
He's actually critical this
Another
Yes.
one, wow.
What a strange thing for a critic to
I
be.
know.
That, Pixar makes movies for kids that are just absolutely spectacular. So we know what is possible. And then when they spend just $180 million or something to make Doolittle.
There we go.
Oh,
Managed to get rid of the
so sad.
microphone.
I
Almost
just
animals
used-
made you sneeze.
Yeah. It's not a bad movie, for kids. It's not a bad 7-year-old go to the movies movie, but you don't spend that kind
You've
of
moved
money.
past those, have you?
You don't spend that kind of money on a movie for kids of that age.
Right.
You have to put, like Pixar does, and like, the Lego movies even do, you put in stuff in there that makes it interesting for other people too, for taller people.
For taller people. There you go.
And there's just nothing in there of any value for grown-ups.
Well-
For 7-year-olds or 8-year-olds, it's just fine, it's just,
Well, a good one to take the young ones to, if you want to, have something, or take them out to something that they'll find entertaining. Maybe, it'll get you in touch with some popcorn and a large drink, and your kids will love the movie.
yeah, absolutely. And as Greg says, I think people have been going to see it, but I did not enjoy it.
It's good to hear, though, that it's doing well locally. But now, conversely, Birds of Prey has been getting, which is the last movie rounding out the slate this week, has been getting some less than kind reviews, but this was one that you kind of got a kick out of, if I remember
It's
correctly.
okay. I gave it an average review, I think. It's one of a series of recent movies that are kind of empowering for women. It's an all women, all female cast, and they just haven't been
Sexist,
well. They just haven't been very well received.
right?
Bombshell, which I don't think we even got here, was another one. Even Little Women, which I really liked, didn't do very well either. So, I don't know.
Some of us still stuck back in the 50s, apparently.
Maybe.
Yeah. Well, now, let's switch gears into something,
Maybe we just like to see more decapitations.
yeah, or zombies, yeah.
Yeah, there's a-
Now, let's switch gears now. We wanted to talk a little bit about, we're trying to figure out, okay, what question to ask our listening audience today, and we hope you'll chime in on this. Your favorite spy movies. But that can go a lot of different directions.
I have a huge list here.
I mean, you can go from like the Pink Panther
Yes.
on the comedic end of things.
Carousel.
Yes, that's right. To, gosh, I mean, so many different directions. So,
Well,
so-
think of all the James Bond franchise,
Sure.
which is, he is a spy.
Mission
and-
Impossible too, another group like
Yes,
that.
yes, but From Russia with Love with Sean Connery and the great late Robert Shaw, who was just one of my favorite actors.
And is there anyone in the James Bond series of movies that did a better job than Sean Connery?
Well, not in my opinion.
I agree.
However, you know, Daniel Craig is not bad.
Right.
He's pretty good.
You're
But-
just talking
and
eye
Roger,
candy now.
Roger Moore, no, I mean, I think he's a good actor, and I think he owned the role. Now, apparently, and I haven't seen it, and I don't think I want to, there's going to be a female James Bond. Oh, you know, what Jane Bond? I mean, what the heck?
No one has the panache of Sean Connery.
Yeah, but the panache.
50
yes,
Shades of
the-
James Bond.
Oh, man,
Yeah,
and I
well,
met Sean Connery back in the day. when
Really?
he was- Yes, he was filming Dr. No, and remember, he was a nobody then.
Mhm.
In fact, Ian Fleming was very upset that he was picked because Ian Fleming did not think he was appropriate for that character. But he was filming Dr. No in Jamaica, and it was a little bitty movie, you know, with a budget of, a shoestring budget, but it did have the great Ursula Andress, who came out of the water in that white bikini. Oh my God, yes, she was
Just
bad.
sit and think about that.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway.
Yeah.
What about you, Andy? When it comes to favorite spy movies, what comes to your mind?
You know, I like the movies that are based on the James LeClaire novels. Little Drummer Girl, The Spy Who Came In From the Cold.
Yes.
I mean, really very, very serious, tense, and no fooling around about.
Yeah, Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy.
Oh, yeah.
Gary
Ooh,
Oldman.
perhaps
All the
the
John
best.
Le Carre. Yeah. right.
Perhaps the best of them all.
Yeah.
But no shilly-shallying about the danger of our Cold War opponent.
Mhm.
This is very, very serious business.
I'm just making a note to find a way to eventually use the term shilly-shally in the future. I've never heard that one. I like that. It's very nice.
High
I've led a
pockets.
sheltered life.
You don't get out.
I don't get
much,
out
do you?
much at all, no, yeah.
If you give me your email address, I'll send you a word every once in a while. Help you out.
Today's word is but.
The word du jour.
Hey, we got a caller on the line at 18 and a half in front of 10 o'clock. Hi, you're on Rim Country Forum. Thanks for calling. Hi. Very good. How are you? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, excellent choice.
And wasn't that an Academy Award winner back in the day?
I think so.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna step out on a limb and say it
Should
should
have
have
been.
Yeah.
been.
So the Maltese Falcon. Any others, caller, that... Bogey had that
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. We have a whole raft of Hitchcock, Notorious, the North by Northwest, which we did show at the theater,
Right.
and that was wonderful. Yeah, Hitchcock was super with spies.
Well, he was always, always had that getting you to sit on the edge of your seat sort of thing, and well known for that. But I appreciate the input this morning. Wow, Bogart. There was something about his whole just I don't know, his mystique or whatever that came
Yeah.
along with him. He lent himself well to that kind of role.
Yeah, and if you think of To Have and To Have Not, which was set in the Caribbean prior to the United States entry into World War II,
Right.
and involved skullduggery with the Vichy-controlled islands down there, and Nazi spies, and Bogart, and Walter Brennan.
Oh, Walter Brennan. Yes,
And-
the great Walter Brennan.
Who's the girl?
Wait a minute.
Papina?
No, was it
No,
Lauren?
that's a different
It was
guy.
Lauren Bacall.
It was Lauren
Yeah,
Bacall.
because they
Oh,
got
so
together on that
That was
movie, I
a-
believe.
I
Yeah.
believe that was Lauren Bacall's first movie.
Yeah, I think she was like 19 or something. Yeah.
So this
Much too young for Bogey, but
But you know what?
seemed to have
They had
worked
a
out.
great marriage.
Yeah.
So this was back before
Yeah.
the real McCoys.
Yes,
Yes.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Hey,
And a very interesting movie in terms of the actual history, because it was between the beginning of, actually between the fall of France in June of 1940 and prior to the American involvement in World War II, which didn't start for a year and a half later. So,
Yep.
interesting historical period there, and great acting. And if you remember Walter Brennan saying to Lauren Bacall, was you ever bit by a dead bee? I mean, just some great writing in that one, and Lauren Bacall was absolutely spectacular.
Yeah, yeah,
I
she
love
was.
it. Hey, we got another caller on the line, just a little before 15 in front of 10 o'clock. Hi, you're on Rim Country Forum. Thanks for calling. What was that again? Oh, Casablanca.
Oh, excellent,
yeah,
excellent choice,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's-
Ingrid Bergman, oh my goodness, yeah.
Those are, and that's
Yeah.
what? How long ago was that? Was that the
Ay.
60s? Was it the 50s?
Oh, no,
Oh,
it was,
no, no.
no, it was black and white.
Yeah,
It
it
was
oh, this is- we're going back to the
1940, it was
30s.
in the
No.
Well, the 40s because it was about the war.
I think it was
Yeah.
filmed while World War II was
Yes.
ongoing. Yeah.
Yes, I
Wow.
believe so, yeah.
Goes back a ways.
Yeah.
Hey, good idea. Thanks for the
Yeah,
call back. I
thank
really
you.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
And that's another movie that the setting and the time is after the fall of France and prior to
Right.
when America got into the war.
Right. And there's so many, the ones that I hadn't thought of, but, Michael Caine in the Ipcress File.
Oh, that is
We
just an
it's so
amazingly good
wonderful.
movie.
Yes.
And very disturbing too.
Yes, very disturbing, and then Kevin Costner in the movie No Way Out, which is one of my all-time faves.
No way.
It's really, that is a tour de force of acting and the surprise ending. If you know the ending, don't tell anybody, let them watch the movie.
Okay, I won't tell.
No, yeah, okay, right, yeah.
Well, Michelle, as I mentioned earlier in the back office here, always a wealth of information, keeps feeding me notes as we speak. She's brought up some great ones, and one in particular, there's a few here that we'll go over, but the one in particular that I've really enjoyed all of the iterations of this, but the one specifically that she mentioned is The Bourne Identity.
Yeah,
I
and
mean,
that's on my list, yeah,
The
definitely.
Jason Bourne movies,
Yeah.
really, really good. I
Well,
think.
Robert Ludlum is a great writer, and it just.
And still doing very, very well as a novelist, even though he's
Even though he's
dead.
been dead for quite a while.
How about another choice of hers? How about Dr. No?
Oh, well, the Sean Connery, that's the one I met,
Yeah.
Sean, yeah.
Goldfinger?
Oh, all of them, yeah,
Goldfinger.
yeah.
And, yeah.
Casino Royale.
Oh, there you go,
excellent
yeah.
choice,
Daniel
yeah.
Craig. Actually, we're getting ready to do the final James Bond with Daniel Craig
Uh-huh.
as James Bond. We got that one coming out here in just a couple months.
Wow,
Excellent.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And,
So, Greg, you prefer the Daniel Craig version of Casino Royale over the Woody Allen version?
Yes.
for some reason, we can't quite put our finger on it. Hey, we have some more to mention. How about Clear and Present Danger?
Yes,
I mean, that's a great movie.
excellent,
I
excellent,
hadn't really thought about that in terms of a spy movie, but I guess that does make sense.
yes, Yeah.
That's another great one with Harrison Ford.
And, yeah, Harrison Ford has a remarkable career, and
Yeah.
he's not stopping. Clear and Present Danger has in common with the other Tom Clancy movies, a fine eye for the detail of cutting-edge technical innovation.
mhm,
And in this one, they use a bomb that is made of cellulose. I mean, the frame, the body, there we go, the
Right.
body of the bomb is made of pressed cellulose, and when it explodes, there's very little there for the forensic people to go and say, oh yeah, this was a US Navy bomb, it's a number 12,
Right.
500 pounder, yeah, sure. But no, there was none of that, which at that time, when he wrote the book, was brand new technology.
Right.
And the Clancy books are just chock full of that. Again, a fine novelist and continuing,
yes,
he
he's-
puts one out every year.
his
even though it's-
post-mortem career is excellent,
Yeah,
yes.
and they're still pretty good, and
Yeah.
they still always have some technological innovation in there that comes out of nowhere. It's
Well,
fun.
he brings up interesting points like the Potomac two-step and other things like that that I've always
Yeah.
gotten a kick out of as well.
Yeah.
11 minutes in front of 10 o'clock, back to the phones. Hi, you're on Rim Country Forum. Good morning. Hi there. Ice
Oh,
Station
Ice Station
Zebra.
Zero, good choice.
Was it zebra or zero?
Zebra.
Zebra, sorry, zebra, yes.
So,
Yeah. Gosh, who was in that? I'm drawing a blank now. Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
Yep, Spies on Ice.
yeah. Excellent choice.
well, hey, thanks for the input.
Yeah.
You know how big a zebra is?
I,
It's 20 sometimes bigger than a zebra.
Your will, living trust, or
Oh.
power of attorney documents should be in place
Sorry.
in order to avoid the time.
I got a porn flick. I
Oh,
wish
what
I
kind?
saw a foreign movie,
Oh.
the live stream.
What spy movie is that?
I thought she said porn flick, I was like,
What? No, that's it. Did you hear about Steven Spielberg's daughter?
There's a topic, huh?
yeah.
Next week, your
Yeah,
favorite porn
yeah.
film.
She's starring in porn flicks.
445
She,
Steven Seagal's daughter?
no, Steven Spielberg's daughter.
Spielberg?
Yes!
And the word I heard is that he's approving of it.
I know. I'm like, dude, your daughter.
Speaking of spy movies, what about the old black and white movie, High Pockets?
I've never seen that.
Never heard of it.
It's a female, an American female spy who was against the Japanese and gave a lot of military secrets.
Oh,
I forgot
got
to-
one.
I
forgot
got
to hang up
two. I
after
got a
last.
French one and a German
There was
one that I want
nobody
to mention. La Femme Nikita.
Oh, yes.
Yes, the French one though,
Yes.
the original.
Yeah.
And then Lives of Others, have you seen that?
Nuh-uh.
Oh my gosh. you
La
guys-
Femme Nikita,
That
those.
is, but Lives of Others is a German movie, it is so creepy.
And the American remake of La Femme Nikita was not at all
Yeah,
bad.
well, Bridget Fonda, we love her,
Yeah, we sure do.
yeah.
I really liked my zebra movie.
I thought
I just
it was-
wanted,
Forgettable.
well, it goes by so fast that I'm hoping a lot of people missed it, but you never know.
Yeah. Yeah.
9 minutes in front of 10 o'clock right now, 50 degrees, talking with the hometown movie guys. Tina, Craig, and Andy with us in the studio today, telling you about what's going on at the Sawmill Theaters. Call of the Wild starts today. Scary Movie 2 playing a one-time only thing tonight at 7 p.m. And Sonic the Hedgehog, Downhill, Birds of Prey, Doolittle, and 1917, all playing at the Sawmill Theaters, and we'll talk more about that here coming up in just a little bit. Our question this morning that we've been getting phone calls on is, what's your favorite spy movie of all time? Another one that Michelle mentioned that I think is pretty darn popular was The Falcon and the Snowman.
Oh, and that's a true story.
Really?
Yes,
I didn't know
yes,
that.
with Timothy Bottoms, was it? And Sean Penn,
Wow.
playing these young guys who went to work for whatever the agency was, and they sold secrets to, I think, the Soviets, and were caught. I mean, yeah, that's and it's a real story, it's
Oh.
true. Yeah, I read the book.
Did I ever tell you that I met Sean Penn?
No.
Down in Haiti after the earthquake, 10 years ago right now.
Yeah, well, he was
down there
a big
for
player,
months and
yeah.
months and months, and there was no running water. I mean, and it was just an awful place, and we
Wow.
all looked like junk, and he did too.
Yeah.
But he had a good excuse because we were in the middle of an earthquake. So,
Right.
but I had a chance to meet him one evening,
Yeah.
and that was kind of an unusual person to bump into.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
And
Well, he's an excellent actor, and that was one of his first movies, and it was very, very disturbing and very engaging.
Hmm.
Just really, I've seen that quite a few times.
interesting.
Yeah. Now, some foreign movies. Before we go to the phones,
Okay.
we should talk about La Femme Nikita, which is a French movie. It was remade as an American movie with Bridget Fonda, but the original French is extraordinary,
Really?
really good.
Huh.
And then The Lives of Others. I may be the only person here who's seen that, but it's a German movie and really seriously creepy. It's about being spied on by the government,
Hmm.
and just compelling.
Wow.
Yeah, so The Lives of Others, if you can
The
see,
lives.
find that.
How long ago did that come out?
Ooh, 2006.
Oh, so
maybe?
not that old.
Not
Okay.
super old, but yeah.
Huh, very interesting. Back on the phones again, 6 minutes now in front of the hour. Hi, you're on Rim Country Forum. Good morning. Hey, Terry, how you doing?
Hey. Yeah. Thank you. I agree.
What was the most redeeming quality in your opinion? Right. Yeah, that's got to be at the core of why they got the Academy Award for cinematography, because that had to be
Yeah.
just gargantuanly difficult to pull off.
I wish they'd won more, but thank you, Terry, because I'm really big on everybody seeing that. I really want people to not miss it.
Okay?
Ooh, yeah. Yeah.
I remember the title and I'm trying to place it.
Trying to remember.
How old?
Yes, that's
Wow.
right. Clint Eastwood, and he did star with Richard Burton, who was one of my favorite actors of all time.
So this is probably going back to the 60s, early 70s?
It could be, yeah.
Wow, very
Yeah.
interesting.
That's right. Yeah. Well, and Richard Burton, of course, was in The Spy Who Came In From the Cold, which is, that
Right.
again. Graham Greene, and Graham Greene also wrote The Third Man, which was directed by Orson Welles and starred in by Orson Welles, and that is an amazing movie with Joseph Cotten.
Right.
That's, another classic.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, well, thanhanks, Terry. Appreciate the
Thank
input
you,
this
Jerry.
morning. A good point. We'll open up the phone lines again, asking you, what's your favorite spy movie of all time? Well, we've covered the gambit, as far as different types. Fred?
Yeah, I got something a little bit different here.
All right.
The Interview. It's, this
Ooh,
is James Franco and Seth
yes,
Rogen,
Yes.
where they were recruited to go over and kill Kim Jong. And this is kind of a comedy,
Right.
but this movie actually, it caused a lot of issues. There were threats. Kim Jong did not take kindly to this film, about him being assassinated. And
I understand he doesn't like Elton John's song Rocket Man either for some reason. I don't know why.
That's the kid.
Yeah.
This was this dad.
Oh, okay.
right?
But this was, a lot of theaters didn't play the movie.
Right.
It caused those issues, and then also within Sony, there were a lot of problems there. Some of their high-level people ended up leaving the studio over it.
Really?
And it also, in kind of a roundabout way, ended up with Spider-Man becoming part of the Marvel Universe again. Spider-Man was owned by Sony, and Disney couldn't use him in their movies, and after this whole, because of the Interview, pretty much directly, Spider-Man was being able to use, they were able to use Spider-Man in Marvel films again. Those rights went back that way.
My, what a tangles web we weave.
Yeah.
Interesting. Hey, 3 minutes in front of the hour, enough time for another call here. Hi, you're on Rim Country Forum. Good morning. Serpico.
Serpico,
Yeah, there you
yeah.
go.
Well, yeah, he was a spy.
Yeah.
And true story again. Yeah. Excellent choice.
Good point, thanks.
And on a lighter note, but still spy, Burn After Reading by the Coens with Brad Pitt, George Clooney, and Frances McDormand. That is a great movie.
Was that a moan of agreement or a moan of disagreement?
Oh, no, this is just absolutely hilarious.
Yes.
It is really, really funny. Coen brothers with a fabulous cast.
Yes.
And, boy, I hadn't thought about that for a long time, but my goodness.
I have to re-see that. I think
Yeah.
we should make a time and
Yeah,
watch that again.
it is really funny.
It's excellent. Brad Pitt was just, he plays this doofus, and he does it really well.
How about Atomic Blonde?
Oh.
Charlize Theron. That was a good one. That
Yeah.
was good. She was a double agent, I think is what you'd call her.
Double.
I'd like cream on it.
Yeah, and I mean, it's kind of a girl version of John Wick, where there's just savage violence nonstop through the whole thing. If you like that kind of thing, it's really fun. And you never, it's about, spies and counter spies and double dealing and everybody trying to kill everybody, and you don't really get the whole thing until the very last scene in the movie. It's really great. And boy, can Charlize Theron, boy, she can really fight.
Yeah.
She just some just horrible hand-to-hand combat stuff.
Wow.
Yeah.
I have to check that out. Name of it again?
Atomic Blonde.
Yeah, good choice,
All
Craig.
right,
Yeah.
well, you know what,
Really.
and now a lot of interesting input this morning. We appreciate the phone calls, and of course, as always, we appreciate you tuning in and listening. If you want to find out what's playing at the Sawmill Theaters and when it's playing, all you got to do is log on to sawmilltheaters.com. You can find out there, or you can call 595-0876. That's 595-0876. Sadly, we're out of time. And so I want to say thanks once again to our hometown movie guys, as always on Fridays, coming down to be with us.
And Robin from Hawaii just texted, good show.
Oh, great. Aloha, Robin.
Aloha, my sis.
Yeah. I'd like to be out there watching the waves right now. But we have to tell you that the Rim Country Forum has been brought to you by the Dana Law Group, Sunshine Cleaning and Restoration, Hospitality Wireless, Damn Good Flooring, Anytime Fitness, Choice Auto and Truck, and Holiday Cruises and Tours. Always bringing you your hometown movie guys here on Friday, and watched as far away as Hawaii.